It is February 21st, 2017. We're here at 4270 34th Street in San Diego, California, 92104. We're here on the north side of the building where we have a clean out plug into a beginning of a 3 or 4 inch cast iron pipe here for the main sewer line. This is backed up a few times. Recently was told that it backed up and a plumbing company came out and said they pulled out mud and dirt. This is the beginning of the system before anything initially dumps in. Now you can see that there's some buildup on the bottom, and you can actually see a bunch of little flies and stuff all inside the line there. So the bottom of the line's got some paper and feces that from during the backups has kind of settled in the line from when it flushed out back in reverse. Additionally, the way that some sewer lines are, when you dump and flush the toilet in and it first dumps in from the vertical into the horizontal line, you get kind of a wave of the water settles in the line and kind of comes backwards slightly and leaves some deposits before it continues downhill, especially when the line's initial horizontal isn't really steep at a downward angle. So we're assuming at this point that possibly that's where the mud and dirt came from, is just this buildup right here. So we've got our camera in the line with a small centering guide. We're going to see if we can ride over the top of this little bit of buildup, see how loose and muddy it is. But anyway, you can see some of it's peeling up right there, kind of blocking the camera image now. So we kind of expected that to happen, but it's kind of side there. So what we're going to have to do is push down the line a little bit here, and hopefully it gets kind of rinsed off when we hit a pocket of water and some other debris in the line here. So there we go. We just kind of dumped into part of the line, and some of that stuff kind of dropped off. There's our dump into the bigger part of the main sewer. So now we're going to go ahead and come back in reverse here. We do apologize. This is a brand new Wi-Fi transmitting monitor system, and unfortunately there's a small glitch where it's in the metric and we can't get this by the foot and inches on our meter, so it's showing up at a little bit different than we'd expect to normally be able to show to a customer. So again, here was that turn where this unit, number 3's plumbing, dumps into the main sewer. So we're coming backwards here now that we got that debris off the line. There's a little bit of caked up deposits. It's going to be typical with cast iron pipe. There's a little trench on the bottom there, the little buildup on the side of that. There's some debris, but we don't see that the pipe is rotted out or completely broken away. There's some little peeling or flakes of the wall of the pipe, but that doesn't mean that the entire cast iron is compromised and bad. We got a little turn right here as we come backwards. Actually that was a little mound of debris we were kind of stuck on. We thought it was a turn. Coming back here. Still don't really see anything wrong with the line that's telling us that there is a completely problem with the pipe. Again, you can see just some deposits on the left hand side that are kind of mounded up there. That's typical with the amount of debris that's going to go down with this old of a building that then builds up in the line. Some of that can be hydrojetted out, but only usually needs to be done if there's very heavy amounts that are causing stoppages on a real consistent basis. But with just toilet paper and feces and liquid going down, really shouldn't be much of an issue. Past that T-junction just a little bit ago. Coming back, here's where this unit is another T-junction emptying into, and that should be the last T-junction right there for number 3. And as we come backwards here, oh no, there we go, here's a little T-junction right here, and let's see, there's some hair and debris in the line right there, and that was the mound that we passed that kind of blocked us up. So there's a T-junction right there, that hair and debris. This is directly under what should be the bathtub is the first drain line, and then we have the toilet, then the lavatory sink, and then we may have the next T-junction would be what's coming in possibly down the wall from the unit above as well. We're now going to continue to push back to where we kind of started from and get this debris off our line. So here's that turn and twist. Again, vision's a little bit skewed. So this horizontal line, here's where it makes a turn, goes down at about a 45-degree angle, and then right here it's teeing into the bigger 4-inch pipe. It looks like the other pipe was a 3-inch. This is the 4-inch for the main sewer coming across the building, which is then collecting the units 2 and 1 that are head, and this line I believe does run towards the alleyway. We're going to kind of push this through relatively quickly to try to make this turn. There we go. The camera's kind of flip-flopping over itself there. You can see it's kind of going in reverse in the way we want because of how that T in the line is dropping into it. So you can see there's the Y junction. Our camera's kind of flip-flopped over itself. We're looking back in reverse again. There we go. So get that cleaned off with that little pool of water there on the system. We have this is a 1-inch camera, and we do have a centering guide that's pulling off the bottom. This is why we do that, so you can see away from the bottom, not be in water. So again, you can see there's some mounds of buildup and debris on the line here, on the walls of the pipe, but the pipe itself is actually still intact. It's not broken or collapsed where we're getting mud and debris in the line. I suspect that mud and debris that they thought was actually just buildup in the line at the entry point here at the clean out, but it's actually not a break in the line. So again, we do have some heavy buildup right here in the system. Another T-junction right there, and now you can see we've got, appears that should be a clean out that might be there in the alleyway. Never had to go to that area, clean out the line for this building. It's always performed okay. Just pushing through this main. So this is very far out. We're about 18 meters, which is, you know, pretty much about 60 feet almost. Still all 4-inch cast iron pipe. Still okay. Here's our turn, and here's where it connects into the city line that they replaced. Probably was clay at some point in time. They replaced it with this green plastic pipe, PVC, called Greenbell. Here we have another clean out. So you can see here, this is the clean out that the city put in. This white piece of pipe is a T-junction. That's a vertical T going up. And then after that property line clean out the city put in, the line makes a little bit of a downward turn here, and then here's where it dumps into the very large city pipe. So this is the end of this line from this clean out outside apartment number 3. So now we're going to go ahead and pull backwards, make sure we didn't miss anything. So we know the plastic pipe, of course, is in perfect condition. And we're back into the cast already. Even though we've got some heavier mounds of buildup in here, again, the main sewer line that's backed up here for 3 before, other than the individual sink or tub, but the main has backed up here before we've had to clear it. We haven't had to go a very long distance before it cleared, so we don't really at this point recommend even having any hydrojetting to be attempted to be done from these access points that are available to try to clean any of this out. I'm going to go ahead and continue to pull back here on the line. We may have a little bit of water being run through the system here by somebody using, and that's fine. So again, these are heavier amounts of buildup right here, you see, but it's not causing any issues right now, so I'm really not going to recommend any kind of heavy hydrojetting. In an older pipe, hydrojetting that's very aggressive to try to scrape the walls of the pipe can actually damage it and cause more breakage actually. So you have to weigh the options and either use a very lower PSI to try to clean it, hope it cleans up, or you just don't do that at all and you let it keep performing and functioning the way it is. And we've got water being run through the system a little bit here, and a little bit of pocket that's holding some water, but overall it's definitely functioning okay. And we've either got a little mound here or we've got a little catch on the edge of the pipe, so we're going to go ahead and pause the video while we go ahead and get our camera to jump over this while you attempt to do this. Okay, we just jumped back over that T-junction, so we've come back up and we're now under number 3 itself. This is again that original horizontal line. So we're going to start to see those T-junctions here pretty quickly. That's one little T-junction there. We essentially have the bathtub, the toilet, the lavatory sink, and we also have the kitchen. The kitchen, even though it's kind of behind, off the side, behind the toilet area, the tub, it may have its own T-junction where it dumps into the line. There's the second T-junction. Third T-junction, fourth little T-junction there, and I think that's a vertical T-junction right there, dumping into the line, and then we come out, and again here's where we've got all that little bit of debris at the very opening of the line. So I really don't feel that the other plumbing company pulled out any mud or dirt from the system. I think that was this buildup outside, collecting in the horizontal line here of the clean out for a foot or two before it actually then has anything starting to dump into the system. So you get kind of a backflush that settles in the line, both from general usage sometimes, especially though from a stoppage or buildup. Also because this is kind of a low spot in the ground here. You can see on the slab as we come across, you can see even though there's a clean out plug on here, it should be on here almost all the time, and usually is, there's always a chance that over the years this plug's been partially off that's right here, and regular mud and dirt that's outside of here could have also possibly kind of washed into the system a little bit during the backups or just during normal usage, that's when the clean out plug was off. So we don't recommend any cleaning, hydrojetting, or any repairs, of course, at this time for this property. That concludes this video.